Good morning, Mark. How are ya?
Miles, I'm doing great. I had a wonderful sleep last night, 15 straight hours, no bathroom breaks. That's
Yeah.
always a good omen. Yeah, how about you?
Well, I am doing really well. I had a great night's sleep as well. Today is special for both of
Oh,
us
yes, it is.
because we love recording episodes of Pull My Leg.
We do. That's my favorite thing to do in the whole world. I like it better than eating, not as much as sleeping. I like it better than riding my bike. I like it better than eating.
So, Pull My Leg is generally where we take life's most mundane
Mm.
questions that people have, and we get down to the bottom of it. We usually have an expert who tells us everything we need to know. For example,
Yeah.
we had one of our earlier episodes, a whole show on Swiss cheese. Why does Swiss cheese have holes? Does it have too many holes? Does it have enough holes?
What do you do with those
Why?
holes
Right.
when
Why
you're
does
bored?
Swiss cheese have holes unlike all other cheese?
Hmm.
Is it a religious matter? Is it more of just a cultural matter? And why does it taste so damn
And that
delicious?
was the episode where we actually won that podcast award. For that. It was our first episode. I feel like we started way too strong because it's been going downhill a little bit since then, but that was our award-winning episode, which was
Right.
cool.
And just to remind everyone, we do this for all of you, for all of
Hmm.
our listeners. And we love getting feedback from you. For example,
Mm.
John from Des Moines, Iowa, often writes in and says, "Hey guys, this is supposed to be funny. Why
Hmm.
not try being funnier?" I
Yeah.
love that type of
Yeah,
feedback.
we love it. We
It's always
appreciate that.
great.
Thank you, John.
It's always great. But today is a very special episode. And I'm very excited to be doing this because, Mark, you love anything having to do with folklore. You studied that in college
Hmm.
and have a PhD in everything folklore.
That's right.
Right.
I
You
do.
put the F in folklore, and that F stands for fun and fascinating.
That's right.
Right. So today on Pull My Leg, we are going to get into cryptid. Cryptid, Mark,
Hmm.
is those types of creatures, those mythological, folkloric creatures like Loch Ness Monster,
You don't have to tell
El.
me. That's right.
Mhm.
I
Right.
did my
You know,
thesis on the Loch Ness Monster.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember reading it and enjoyed it.
Thank you.
You made it sound almost believable.
Thank you.
So today we are not going to be interviewing a cryptozoologist, somebody who studies these mythical creatures. We are actually going to be bringing in the real thing.
Yeah.
So today, as an exclusive interview,
Hmm.
we, the two gentlemen, your friends, partners in crime,
That's right.
partners in hilarity, are going to be interviewing the one and only Bigfoot.
Pull my leg, pop ties. Pull my leg, pop ties. Everything that we say is made up on the spot. And guess know the drill. So they all play along. Pull my leg, podcast. Pull my leg, podcast. Pull my leg, podcast.
So, Mark, on today's show, we are going to be talking about cryptids.
Yep.
As I had said earlier, these are kind of these mythical creatures that either that are very folkloric, come from a variety of different cultures around the world. No culture is immune to having their version of, let's say, one of our A-listers, which of course is Sasquatch, better known as Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster in Scotland. But
Right.
some of these lesser known type of cryptids are pretty fascinating. For example, Mark,
Yeah.
I don't think many of us know that. I know you do, but that Mothman originated in the 1960s from West Virginia. And he's a red-eyed winged creature
Hmm.
reportedly seen before tragic events.
Yeah.
Looks like a bat, a man or possibly, you know,
A
what I
man
look like
bat.
when I'm sleep deprived.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
That's right. Well,
And then, yeah.
because of the fact that I got my master's in folklore, I spent an entire summer in West Virginia camped out searching
Mhm.
for Mothman. I came
Yeah.
up empty. I did find a lot of poison ivy though, which was kind of cool,
Yeah.
but I did not run into the Mothman.
Right, right. Well, here,
But I heard him
here,
at night.
yeah,
That's how I knew
of
I was
course you
close.
did. Yeah, right. Of course you did. Could have been just me snoring.
Yeah,
But so there is an NHL team, the New Jersey Devils.
that's
Now,
right.
where do you think they got that name from?
Well, I mean, they were one of the original 13 colonies, so there was New York and New
Right.
Jersey. So,
Great guess, and you're absolutely right. So
yeah.
during the 1700s
Mm.
in Pine Barrens, New Jersey, the Jersey Devil made his appearance. It's a
Oh, that's
flying
right.
horse goat demon. There will be a common theme of this horse goat type of demon type of thing throughout other cultures as well, which was supposedly born under a curse, which honestly sounds very New Jersey.
Right.
We, of course, all know the Yeti, the abominable snowman,
That's right.
which is from Nepal, Himalayas. Again, very much like a Bigfoot type of
The
character.
Yowie I remember learning about was some Australian creature with that was like an ape-like creature.
Yeah,
You know, it,
absolutely, right. And this is also going to be an interesting the Flatwoods Monster, which again, and there may be a reason for this, but again originated in West Virginia. So
yeah,
that's two
that's two.
types of creatures, and it's a glowing alien cryptid witnessed after a reported UFO sighting. And so, Mark, that these types of creatures
Yeah.
could also be thrown into the category of um, like supernatural, uh, into the category of UFOs. Obviously, people have seen aliens for, hundreds of years, and there are throughout time, there are different periods of time where you'll see the number of sightings of either UFOs or these types
Mhm.
of mythical creatures becoming popular, and then it dies down, then
Yeah.
it rears its head again.
You know
I
what
find that, yeah,
what I find fascinating is that a lot of people believe that there's no such thing as Bigfoot or Loch Ness Monster or UFOs because they have to see it to believe it,
right,
right? So
right,
now I have moles in my yard. They leave tracks like humps in the ground. I've
right,
never seen a mole, but
right,
I have them, right? So
right.
I've never seen Tom Hanks. I've never seen the Taj Mahal, but it exists, right? Or
For
does it?
sure, for
So just
sure.
because you haven't seen Bigfoot in the wild doesn't mean he's not there.
Mermaids, which gets right
Mermaids.
into mermaids, right? I mean,
Right.
half woman, half fish, right?
There's a lot of ocean
And
out there.
depending on what side of the equator you're on, it could either be that top half is woman, is female,
Hmm.
and the bottom half is fish. And then once you go south of the
Yep.
equator, it flips. Top half fish, bottom half woman,
Yeah.
and
She can't really get through the waters quickly in the southern hemisphere,
which
but that is an
which
interesting visual. I
I'm
find
sorry.
it.
By the way, sailors reportedly confused from loneliness and exhaustion and probably eating too much seaweed.
Unreliable
Um,
descriptions from our sailors that have been out there
it's
for
right.
years. But it
And
is interesting how over time, even pre-internet, pre-global
yeah,
multimedia, there are similar descriptions of creatures across
that's
cultures,
right.
across
That's right.
continents. So,
Absolutely. I mean, why do humans, I mean, this is your area of study, but why do humans love these cryptids? Why is this passed from generation to generation? And I'd like to think that it gives just the world a little bit of mystery.
yeah, we need a little mystery. It seems like we know everything now, but we really don't. I spent a lot of time. I spent an entire semester on diets, cryptid diets,
Did you
specifically
really?
on our boy Bigfoot, who's going to be coming on the show in a little bit. We're still waiting for him to call in, so that's why we're
Hmm.
kind of
Hmm.
stalling and buying time. But what do you think Bigfoot's diet would be?
Hmm. Hmm. If I
Like,
had to guess, right?
yeah,
If I had to guess, sticks, dirt,
sticks.
rocks. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's a
I said sticks.
sticks. Right. I understand. So for those who have trouble deciphering your
I said
language. But you also
sticks.
said rocks, which is disconcerting as
Delicious.
well.
In some
So
cultures, they find those delicious.
so he's an omnivore, is what I found.
Yeah.
And certain in foods, berries, roots. I have a whole list here: berries, roots, nuts, apples, corn from farms, fish, especially in the Northwest, right? You've got that delicious salmon, insects, plants. I'm sorry, this is bad information. This is my shopping list. I got to go to Whole Foods later after this recording. But Bigfoot's diet is similar.
So why do these cryptids exist and continue to be talked about? These are very interesting questions that we will be asking Mr. Foot.
Mhm.
I like to think that they add mystery to this world. They can teach our children things, you know.
He still needs a few minutes. Sorry,
Okay, very
I was
good.
texting him.
You know, they let us believe that there are still secrets in this world.
Yeah,
They turn ordinary places, lakes, forests, mountains, into magical places, places of mystery. And
right.
honestly, isn't it just fun to think that these animals may exist, that there is a Loch Ness monster, that somewhere in this world there is an El Chacarabra in Mexico,
I'm pretty sure that
which
was pronounced
I
correctly.
think I just nailed the pronunciation
That's
of
right.
that.
Chakarabra. I
La
don't think it's
Chucarabra.
chupacabra, do you?
Chupacabra. Thank you
That
very
doesn't sound
much.
right.
Yeah. Deep down, every human being wants life to be slightly more interesting than it is,
Right.
right?
And do you think they exist out in the forest and the woods because it's harder to hide in the city?
Well, these are things that we are going to ask Mr. Foot
Oh, we
once he
are.
joins us. Yes.
Great. Great,
Yes.
great, great. What about like television shows and movies? Did you
Yeah.
have a favorite TV show or movie where
Well, like most
Cryptid
kids my
appeared?
age, The $6 Million Man was one of my favorites.
And I don't remember that episode, but I
Yeah.
know Bigfoot made an appearance.
So let me just set the scene for our
Oh, please do.
guests, for all three of them, for our fans. So in the $6 Million Man, quick summary of that, if you're not familiar with it, this is a individual who was in he was a test pilot, and he was in this horrific crash, and they invested $6 million to keep him alive and bring him back. His body was all mangled, so they started replacing his body parts, like for
Mhm.
example his eye, with these pieces of machinery that enabled him to have superpowers. He
Yeah.
could jump on top of a 20-story building with this bionic leg. This bionic arm enabled him to lift very heavy things. Everything was in slow motion when he was using these pieces of powerful
That's right.
equipment, right? So he could run faster than an average human. He could see farther away. But there were episodes where the $6 Million Man actually battled Bigfoot. And every time the $6 Million Man would throw a rock at Bigfoot, Bigfoot would catch it also in slow motion and then throw it back at the $6 Million Man in slow motion.
I will be
It was
seeking one of those clips
fascinating.
later.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, by the way, and this is on topic, Miles, and this is for all of my pull my leg listeners. Are you on drugs? Of course not. Have you always wanted to be, but because you're worried about side effects, you don't take them? Hi, I'm Mark Big Dog Harrison, and I'm here to share with you my little secret. It's called Placibolta, the drug for people who don't take drugs. These days, it feels like everyone's on something, a little pill for this, a booster for that. But what about the rest of us, the unmedicated, the prescription list, the brave few walking around with no side effects at all? Introducing Placibolta, the world's first prescription medication for people who don't take prescription medications. Just because you're healthy doesn't mean you should feel left out. And best of all, this is exciting news. Placibolta comes with side effects you'll actually want. Side effects may include clearer skin, fresher breath, stronger hugs, sudden windfalls of unexpected cash, random applause from strangers, a faint smell of cinnamon, cooler dance moves, the ability to remember everyone's Wi-Fi password, and a deep, abiding sense that everything's going to be okay. Finally, a drug for healthy people who just want to fit in. Talk to your doctor today and ask if Placibolta is right for you, Placibolta, because feeling fine is fine, but feeling fabulous is better. Do not take Placibolta if you're already too happy, excessively charming, currently experiencing double rainbows, and if euphoria lasts more than 4 hours, congratulations. Miles, let's get back to Pull My Leg.
Well, thank you to our sponsor, Placibolta. I have been using it for now 3 weeks, and my stools have never been firmer.
That's terrific.
You heard it here first.
It's doing as it's intended.
Exactly.
So let's talk about Steve Austin throws a rock to Bigfoot. Bigfoot catches it, throws it back to Steve Austin. It's like they're playing a game of catch, father and son.
Exactly. Catches it barehanded.
Speaking
Right?
of
No-
stools,
no glove.
does Bigfoot ever leave scat in the woods? Has that
I would
ever?
imagine
I guess I
so.
should tell you because I'm the one that studied folklore. But I'm gonna.
I hope he does.
He does.
What I'm always worried about is what will happen when one of these Bigfoot hunters actually come into contact with Bigfoot. Will it be one of those peaceful introductions, or will it end up with somebody getting hurt? And that's what worries me.
Yeah,
That keeps me up at night.
What I typically find is if you are considered a hunter, you're not really out there to make friends. You know, you're looking to go home with something.
Right.
Throw a Bigfoot over your shoulder. Soup's on. You've got dinner for the next couple of years.
Right. Does not sound delicious at all.
Did you ever watch Harry and the Hendersons?
I did. I love that movie. Yeah, that's another good one.
1987. It's probably one of the
Yeah.
most famous Bigfoot movies, right? So a family accidentally hits Bigfoot with their car
Yeah.
and then takes him home. He
Right.
was a gentle, lovable creature. He was funny.
Right.
That was great. John Lithgow was the star of that movie.
Yeah. And Will Chamberlain played Bigfoot. Most
Wilt
people
the
don't know
Still
that.
played
Wilt the
Bigfoot.
Still.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Little
Most
known
people don't
fact.
know
That's
that.
probably what Wilt's most famous for. 100 points and then playing Harry.
Absolutely.
Uncredited performance, though. Don't go back and watch the credits. You're not going to see his name there. Okay. I just got a text. He's on the line. He's called in. So if
Well,
you want, we
without
can switch
further
over.
ado,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, Bigfoot will be recorded and answering questions, everything that you'd ever want to know about Bigfoot, Mrs. Foot, and the little feet.
Now, he just texted me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's kind of offensive. He doesn't want to be on camera.
Okay.
Okay. That makes sense. He wants to keep his identity a little secret.
Absolutely.
He also said he'd only talk to you.
Wonderful.
He grew up with multiple sisters, so he can relate to your plight being the only brother in a household of sisters.
That's right.
So I can listen into the questions. I can respond a little bit, but he doesn't want me asking any questions. I don't know what it is about that, but I just wanted to share that with you. Okay.
Sounds great.
So, so Mr. Foot, you are on Pull My Leg. Welcome to the show.
Well, I guess thanks for having me. I don't know what to expect here, but you can have a few minutes of my time.
Well, first off, can I call you Mr. Bigfoot or Mr. Foot?
You know, foot is fine. I don't know why I was pegged as Bigfoot. I don't feel like my feet are any bigger or smaller than any of my family members or friends, but foot is fine.
Is calling you Mr. Bigfoot considered offensive in the cryptid community?
No, it would take a lot to offend me. I'm a pretty laid-back cryptid, but it's just shorter. Mr. Bigfoot, 4 syllables, unnecessary use of lung capacity. So just foot is fine, but if you call me Bigfoot or Mr. Foot, or I've been called Captain Sexy, that's fine.
Captain Sexy. Nice.
That's not surprising, Mr.
No.
Foot. So people think you spend all day hiding in forests. Is that all you do? And what is your actual routine?
You know, Miles, can I call you Miles?
Please.
Yeah. And you can call me Mark.
I'm not interested in talking to you, Mark. But Miles, it's hard being a celebrity. And everybody's always trying to take your photo, and and put you on the talk tick or whatever you kids call it. And I just stay in the woods because I like the forest. I'm friends with a lot of the woodland creatures. They look like miniature versions of me. And I just stay in there during the day. And at night, that's when I roam the city streets. I love to get out. I got to get in my 10,000 steps. I'm actually the one who advised doctors that that is a healthy amount of walking that we should all do. But I kind of forgot your question, so I'm just stalling.
Understandable. It wasn't even a very important question. We'll get to that later. So let's address the rumors. Do you actually avoid cameras, and do you consider all photographers just terrible people?
I don't think anybody is really terrible. I think that they are under the impression that they have to document every single moment of their life. But I'm not trying to avoid the photographers. I just want to be left alone. I was here, my family, my ancestors were here many, many decades and centuries before humans even arrived on this planet. So it's not being evasive necessarily. Plus, I'm a little bit of a butterface, as some people like to say. I'm not the most photogenic, so that's why I try to just show my profile or the back of my head.
Very good.
Okay.
Understand. There are a lot of butter faces in this world, and I completely understand. Mr. Foot, what's the biggest misconception humans have about you?
Great question, and I'm so glad you asked. The biggest misconception is that we are mean, that we are nefarious creatures looking to steal your picnic baskets or take food out of your cooler or do bad things to you. We are actually a loving, though mysterious, life form. We believe in good music. We like hearty potato salads at the Harvest Festival, which is one of our big celebrations. It happens every June 17th. So I believe we should all put that on our calendar, the Bigfoot Harvest Festival. But we're really nice people. So if you see us in the woods, don't be afraid. We're a little shy, so that's why if it seems like we're running away from you, we're just shy, but we like hugs. Lots and lots of hugs. And I just recently started taking Placibota, which has truly helped my disposition, and I recommend that you take it as well, Miles. And you too, Mark.
Bigfoot, are you married? And what's your family life like? What's a typical day like for you?
Well, I am married, although not in the eyes of the state, because we cross state lines quite a bit. We don't believe in borders. But I've been married to Mrs. Foot now for about 320 years. I bet it feels like 3020, if you know what I mean. And we have 15 beautiful children. One is thinking about attending Princeton in the fall, but I advised against that because Princeton is for losers. I'm more of a Dartmouth guy. But besides that, I sleep during the day, so does my family. At night, that's when I go for my walks, and my wife goes through the forest picking berries, making lots of pies. And we have a very traditional relationship where she makes the pies and I do the sleeping, much like human marriages. And the kids, they just frolic in the woods. And I mean, that's really it. Pretty basic stuff.
All right. That sounds super boring. What a boring lifestyle. But you do you, Bigfoot. You do you.
So we've had a number of questions sent in from some of our guests. Here's one from Stuart of Walla Walla, Washington. This is a two-parter, Mr. Foot. Flat feet or high arches? And have you ever considered wearing shoes?
I have a very large foot. So I have not ever been able to find a shoe that fits. And by the way, it is a little bit of a pain point with me, the name Bigfoot. every part of my body is big, so I don't know why people obsess about Bigfoot. I mean, every part of my body. You could have called me Big Heart, because I have a big heart. You could have called me Big Brain, because I have quite the big brain, but I guess it's because it's my footprints you see, so you call me Bigfoot. But needless to say, I am a very heavy man. I was born with high arches. Over time, they have flattened a little bit because gravity is a bear. And so my feet are very flat now. That's why I leave a perfect footprint when I walk. Oh, I guess that's why I'm called Bigfoot. I get it now.
Great. And we have one more question. I promised I would read this. This is from Sarah, Sarah B.
Mhm.
of Indianapolis. And
Okay.
she says, is it true? Are do big feet actually mean you have a big and then something is scribbled out? I can't read
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. So we'll move along from there.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just a quick reminder today's episode is brought to you by Placibolta, the drug for people who don't take drugs. Feeling fine? That's great. But have you tried feeling suspiciously amazing for no reason? Placibolta, now with side effects like better posture, improved eye contact, and the sudden belief that you could host your own podcast. Ask your doctor or don't. It's Placibolta.
Well, thank you again for sponsoring our show, Placibolta. I've been using Placibolta now for 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I can say that my hair has gotten longer
Yep.
and my nails have grown, but not on my hands, weird, only on my toes. So I've got, yay long
Better
toenails
for climbing
now.
trees, Miles. Only positive side effects with Placibolta.
That's correct,
Right.
right.
Hmm.
So, Mr. Foot, a couple other questions. If you are familiar, you've had run-ins with humans, but of the humans that you've met or the celebrities you've seen, who do you admire most? For example, Mark, my co-host here, loves Keanu Reeves because Keanu understands solitude, loves Dolly Parton. She has true forest energy and other attributes, I guess, Mark. And then Nicolas Cage, because like Nicolas Cage, Mark is a little edgy and
Hmm.
has certainly seen some things.
Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Foot?
Well, I don't know what true forced energy is, but I suppose Dolly Parton would be at the top of that list. Me, I'm a Sandra Bullock fan, and the fact that Speed never won the Academy Award with Keanu really is shocking to the system. But I'm a big celebrity guy. During the evenings when times are slow and it's cold outside, we like to gather around the flat screen and we watch lots of movies. I'm a big Jason Bateman fan. I like his sister Justine Bateman. Actually, anybody that was on Family Ties, I'm a big fan of. Tina Yothers. I started a fan club for Miss Tina. But I could not leave any sort of mailing address, so I have no idea if people wanted to be in that fan club or not. But really, I'm more of a rock and roll guy because they've got long hair like me, they're hairy like me. I think Steven Taylor, is it Taylor or Tyler? I'm not very good with last names, but with Aerosmith, he wrote Walk This Way for me because he used to walk behind me and I would show him, give him tours of the woods. And so I don't know if that answers your question fully, but I do know I'm looking at my watch here. I have to go, but my wife, my spouse is willing to answer some questions for you if you want, but I'm just going to pass the phone along to her.
Okay.
Wonderful. We look forward
Nice.
to having Mrs. Foot on and joining us.
What a
And I do
sweet,
have some questions for her.
what a sweet guy. What a
Yeah.
nice guy Bigfoot is. I can't wait to
So,
run into him in the woods. So, oh, do I have questions for Mrs. Foot?
well, I have some wonderful questions for
I
her
don't
that
know,
have been
maybe. I
sent in by
wasn't
some of our
expecting that.
fans.
No, I wasn't
Absolutely.
expecting
This
that.
sounds great. We were hoping this is like a twofer.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mrs. Foot, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Hold on. There, that's better. I'm here. I was just making some pies, as I always seem to do.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's been such a pleasure meeting your husband and now the opportunity to speak with you. Can we ask you a few questions?
I am an open book. Go ahead and ask me any question that you'd like, my dear.
Wonderful. Well, thank you
Which
very
is sweet.
much. Yeah, very sweet. Uh, you may or may not, but do you have any other relationships with other cryptids in the world? And who do you like and who are maybe the ones that are more of a challenge?
Well, Miles, they're all a little bit of a challenge. We have some mermen that we're friends with whenever we're up in the northwest part of the country. They come up to the Seattle area and they flop out of the water, and we have nice picnics with them. I bring them my pies, and they bring me regurgitated fish that they've eaten along the way. There's a nice little centaur that lives a couple of forests over. We hang out with him and his little centaurinos, but really we lead kind of a private life.
Hmm.
Not surprising.
Yeah, not at
Not
all.
surprising. There's a lot of stress, encroachment on our forests here in the United States.
Yep.
I'm sure it sometimes feels like the world and humans are against you, Mrs. Foote. But I do have another question. I know your husband is very high profile, often seen as the pinnacle of cryptids, the A-lister, as we would say in Hollywood. Do you ever get recognized in public?
You know, I don't get recognized as much as my husband does, but I'm very good at concealing my identity. I wear large hats, I wear dresses, so I don't stick out as much as he does. But I sometimes get a little territorial if people get too close to him. I just sort of stand in the shadows, but I swear to you right now, Miles, if anybody ever tries to touch him without asking for permission, I will gut that person like a fish. I will tear out their heart, chop it into tiny pieces, put it in the oven at 450 degrees, pull it out 20 minutes later, and serve it to my entire family. That's how much I will protect my family.
Wow. Wow. I think
That went dark.
I wish my mother were like that.
Yeah, no kidding. Do not
So
cross
this
her.
is a segment that we call funny rapid fire questions. So I'm going to be asking you questions, just quickly answer them. This should be, fun.
Okay.
Don't spend too much time on it, but so I'll just ask the question, you answer. So ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Well, here we go. Beef jerky, yes or cannibalism?
Yes.
Favorite tree?
Willow.
Have you ever paid taxes?
I'm not telling.
Thoughts on tiny dogs?
Delicious.
Have you ever slapped a tent in the middle of the night just to scare people?
Nope, I don't want to bother the little creatures, but I do howl to scare them.
Nice. Do you believe in aliens?
I don't believe in aliens. I know in aliens. They are around us all the time. That explains Steve Buscemi.
Are
That was unnecessary.
are Yetis snobs?
Yetis are elitist faux show.
And then the final one, Mrs. Foote. Why are all photos blurry of Mr. Foote?
Because he moves so quickly that you can't get a good photo of him. People think he moves slow, but he is fast. And let me tell you, after as long as we've been married, I can attest to that.
And our final question. So, after all of these years of us seeing blurry pictures of you and Mr. Foote and potentially even the little feet, what do you actually want humanity to know about you?
What I'd like everyone to know about me is that I'm just a nice, regular, everyday Mrs. Foot, And if you see me in the woods, you better back the off.
Well, folks, you heard it here first. Yes, Mr. Foot, Mrs. Foot, and the little feet are real. And they just have been misunderstood.
Misunderstood,
And they
for
just
sure.
want to have and be left alone. They just want to have a life just like all of us. I think there's a lot to learn and a lot to take away from this. Thank you very much, Mr. Foot, Mrs. Foot, and please say hello to the little feet for all of us. Folks, thank you so much for joining another episode of Pull My Leg. We are looking for ideas. If you are interested in participating or providing us with an idea, Mark, where can they get information about our show?
They can go deep into the woods and find it from Mr. and Mrs. Foot. I wish I could have asked some questions. But anyway, please visit us on Instagram at Pull My Leg Podcast. We're also on YouTube. Search for that same Pull My Leg phrase. Comment, post, like, retweet, repost. I don't know, whatever the kids are doing.
Any words of wisdom for our fans,
Well, I
Mark?
don't have any words of wisdom, but I kind of want to extend the show a little bit because I want to ask AI some questions about Bigfoot, and then we have some callers also. You know what?
Let's do that.
Should we do a part 2?
Let's do a part
that
2.
instead. Let's end this episode now, but we're going to do Bigfoot part 2 in a little bit. How about that? So any words of wisdom? You want me to say some words of wisdom?
Absolutely.
You know-
takeaway.
Miles, it takes a village to raise a child, but it only takes a single remote control to raise an adult. That's what I always say. Thanks for watching and listening to Pull My Leg. See you next time.